Listen, we wear a lot of hats on this podcast. Okay. We are fans first and foremost. We watch a lot of football. We like to think that we know what we're talking about when we talk about what's good and what's not good, what people should do, what they shouldn't do. Today, we're going to move into a different genre, and we're going to play the role of amateur film critic here on today's Locked On Bulldogs podcast, because some content was released from Dabo Swinney that needs our attention, and we're going to give it some attention today on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Thanks for making us your first listen. We love that you do that for us. The 199, the loyal third segment listeners that listen all the way in the end. Love it. Clemson fan, glad you're here because we are talking about Dabo Swinney and FanDuel. Thank you so much, FanDuel, for sponsoring today's episode. They are the best. There's where you're going to get to for NBA Finals and NHA Finals. More on them in a moment. But as Daniel said, as I have just said, we're gonna get after Dabo a little bit because
it's 88 days, by the way, until Georgia plays Clemson in the Benz. It's 88 days, and so if you think that this content isn't relevant for the Georgia fan base, I would ask you to reassess your priorities. Are we excited about the Diamond Dogs advancing to the Super Regional? Absolutely, we are. But it's 88 days until Georgia tees it up against Clemson, and we ignore most of what Dabo does. Is that fair to say, Clint?
You have to.
We ignore the vast majority of the words that come out of this man's mouth. We just don't feel the need to pay attention to them. But sometimes something crosses your path, or in this case, your Twitter feed, and it simply demands your attention. So when we saw this, we thought, well, not only do we need to share this with you, but there's so much in here that we want so much to respond to that we're going to break it down for you. We're going to break down a 30-second recruitment video that Clemson football, Dabo Swinney, put out. I'm not even sure the name of the two kids that are in this video. I don't really care. That's not relevant.
We're going to find out that Daniel and Dabo have some things in common.
We are not all that dissimilar, Dabo Swinney and I. So, yeah, how do we want to set this up, Clint? Where do we go?
There's an official recruiting weekend in which Dabo Swinney decides that he wants some intern to grab a phone, point it at him, and have him riff with a recruit. Just let me get some jazz skitty scott going on, and let me just verbally vomit all over the place. Okay. With a recruit on official weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
is there more that people need to know before they begin watching the video?
Nope. That's it.
Thanks to Jake Crane and his Twitter account for furnishing us with this video. Although it's all over the Twitter sphere. But we got it pulled up here.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
This is just phenomenal. What this kid is asked to do. We're gonna hold on. Let's refresh this.
Okay. Here we go.
Checking in at Clemson's official visit weekend with my best friend and head coach Dabo Swinney.
Oh my gosh. The entrance. The entrance clip.
Go ahead.
The way my man slides into frame. Because this little man has just been standing right off frame, just grinning from ear to ear, waiting for his big moment. This poor young man calls him my best friend.
Well, he was forced to.
Dabo Swinney, and Dabo just comes rolling. Oh, it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Okay, so first thing out of the gate, Dabo is the most awkward. Like, he is the guy that is standing at a party who is just leering right outside a group, begging for someone to notice him, be like, "Oh, Dabo, how you doing?" And he just, "Oh, thank my dear lucky stars. You have
That's-
asked how I'm doing.
Someone is speaking to me. He's
he
also
comes-
wearing the Dabo uniform, which is nice to see. He's wearing the khaki Docker shorts and the Clemson polo, which you love to see. And he's holding a football, which will feature later in the video. It's hard to tell. Yeah, the football's only been in frame for about 1 second, but it does feature prominently later in the video.
Just hold on. Okay. So best friend of now, really quick, Daniel and I have a rule that we don't have best friends that are minors.
No.
We don't text minors.
Not high school students. Not my best friend.
No, and more no.
Yeah.
Dabo apparently doesn't have this rule.
No.
He got best
a lot
friends.
Of rules Dabo needs to adopt, but
he needs to adopt.
This is not one of them. All right, let's roll tape.
Hey, and I'm Coach Dabo Swinney, Clemson football, hanging out with
Brady.
Oh, right there.
Okay.
Right there. Okay, so what I said earlier that Daniel and Dabo kind of similar. Daniel said, "I don't know this recruit's name."
The kid, surely Clint, the kid didn't have to say his own name.
Dabo looked at him. Look at the look on his face right now.
He gives the old thumb. Like
he says, "Oh, right here." It was right here that Dabo thought, "I don't know this kid's name."
I don't know this kid's name. I've been asked to make a video for this kid, and I don't know this young man's name. He just called me his best friend. I do not know his name at all. So I'm just going to awkwardly stand here and point at him until he's until he
introduces himself.
says his own name on his own video.
This is the head football coach
Okay.
trying to encourage these young men. These in
Not
a moment,
just
you'll
these young men, but every other person who sees this video.
This is supposed to encourage you and excite you
to come to the University of Clemson. I can't,
guys.
I cannot.
I can't with this. We are a third of the way through. We have the
Dabo Swinney
uniform. He's the worst, y'all.
It's
we have more on this video. It gets
worse. It gets worse, and we can prove it. We can prove it coming up right after this.
And this is, in fact, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the place to go right now. We know lots of places are going ahead and hiring small businesses all over the place, need qualified candidates, and you need to encourage and recruit your team the right way. You need to onboard people and excite them to be part of a team that's thrilling and exciting. And we know
Are you looking for a candidate whose name you know? If so, LinkedIn Jobs is probably the place to go.
LinkedIn can help you out with that. LinkedIn is just a job board. They hire professionals you can't find anywhere else. 7% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. If you're looking on LinkedIn, that's the only place you need to. If you're not, you're looking in someplace silly and stupid. Don't do that. No. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. That's dang quick. LinkedIn knows small businesses are wearing many hats and might not have time or resource to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process quicker and easier. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free. LinkedIn.com/LockedOnCollege. LinkedIn.com/LockedOnCollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, Daniel, we have broken down the first third of the video. We have 2/3 yet to go. And again, this should just prove you and I get on. Just thank your religion of choice.
When you go to sleep tonight, don't let your head hit the pillow without throwing one up to the big guy upstairs and saying, "Thanks for making me a Georgia Bulldog." And
if God's not real, then why are all these churches around? That's my question.
Who's
Jesus' dad?
This is the content of our podcast. I want you to process that, Clint. While we break down Dabo Swinney, this is what our podcast has become.
It's the off season.
It is. We're deep in the throes of the off season.
All right.
And by the way, we're doing our best to describe this video to all of you listening on audio. But if you are listening on audio, you can catch this over on the YouTube channel, and you can see the monstrosity that goes along with the audio. But you're getting the gist of it. We'll let you know when the football features heavily in the video,
and you need to go.
You'll need to see that. You'll need to see that.
Okay. All right. So here's Dabo again with a recruit he doesn't know the name of.
No, we've established He is somewhere in his office, probably is from what it looks like. He's in his office. There's a recruiting weekend. There's a recruit present. Dabo's asked to film a video. He stands awkwardly off to the side of the camera. He sidles in at the appropriate moment, grinning like a doofus. He's holding a football that he seems to be very proud of. He introduces himself as Coach Dabo Swinney, and he says, I'm here with, and then awkwardly points to the young man for what feels like 28 seconds until he finally says his own name.
Correct.
What he says. His own name. And so let's pick back up from where we left off.
Here we go.
Braden Jacobs.
Braden Jacobs. 5-star. You're 5-star.
I should be a 5-star.
You're a 10-star.
Okay. Braden Jacobs has to introduce himself.
Braden
Dabo,
Jacobs, we're sorry.
We're sorry. You had to introduce yourself.
We're sorry about so many things.
And then Dabo says, you're a 5-star, which, by the way, I need to roll a little bit more.
10-star. 10-star in my book. What do you think? You ever seen a bedazzled?
What do you think? 10-star. 10-star in my book.
Okay, so he says, Braden Jacobs, congratulations. You are a 5-star.
You're a 5-star.
In my book.
And then Braden Jacobs says, no, I'm not.
Braden Jacobs says, no, I'm actually not. Actually, consensus has me a 4-star.
Not a 5-star. But thanks for noticing, Coach.
4-star, not a 5-star. If you look at his timeline really quick, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you the teams that have offered Braden Jacobs: Clemson, Kentucky, Colorado, Boston College, Ohio State, Texas, Florida, NC State, Tennessee.
Braden Jacobs, good football player.
Good football player. This is what I'm saying.
Does Dabo Swinney know his name?
Nope.
No, he does not. Does he? Has he clearly even really spent a ton of time scouting the kid? Doesn't even really know what his deal is. Doesn't know that he's not a 5. Doesn't know if he's a 4-star, 5-star, whatever. And then, of course, in typical Dabo fashion, saves face by saying, well, you're a 10-star. You're a 10-star in my book.
Okay. First of all,
great, Coach.
What in the world? That's you're the world's best dad t-shirt given out.
Bought it at Spencer Gifts, world's best boss.
It's embarrassing. Okay.
It is embarrassing.
Then he transitioned.
Yeah, now we transition. Audio listeners, here comes the football.
By the way, really quick, Braden Jacobs, if you had a hard time, you could have just even said his last name, Dabo, because this is going to age a lot of us listening to the podcast. It ages Daniel and I, because this is in fact Brandon Jacobs' kid, the running back for the Giants that could not be tackled no matter what you tried to throw at his ankles or knees for the Giants. This is his child.
There's no way Braden Jacobs, this is a side note, tangent. There's no way Braden Jacobs ends up at Clemson, right? Like after this video surfaces,
how if you Brandon Jacobs,
could we let it happen?
How could you allow your son go be molded by this man?
Brandon, be serious.
Be serious. Come on.
Okay.
Tom Coughlin wouldn't.
Wouldn't do it.
All right. Then he transitions.
Tom Coughlin just stand outside till his nose freezes, falls off. Just absolutely losing appendages in the cold.
You're a 10-star in my book.
You're a 10-star. Here we go.
Okay. Then he says, awkwardly standing, having no clue what to say next, having no transition, having nothing prepared.
There was no script for this video.
No. He says this.
I've never seen it.
Have you seen?
What do you think? You ever seen a bedazzled?
I've never seen a bedazzled.
You ever seen a bedazzled?
You ever seen this? This football's got sparkles all over it. It looks like a football that my young daughter would own.
You ever seen a bedazzled? And then Braden Jacobs says, "Nope, never once, Coach."
No, I have not. Boy, Dabo Swinney, this freeze frame that we got right here, Dabo's just tickled pink about this. He is just tickled to death about this bedazzled football that he has. There's not a lot of things that bring this man genuine joy, but running down a hill and holding a bedazzled football seem to be at or near the top of the list.
We got to finish this. We got to finish this bedazzled football bit before we continue on.
Yeah,
First one.
Hey, and we got another
Another.
Yeah, now we're bringing the other guy. Now he's
Is it okay to be in your? Is it okay for Lauren to be in your video?
Okay. Thank goodness Dabo did the old man thing. He said, "Hey, look, we
hey,
got
look, another guy.
Another guy." As he goes through the mental Rolodex, you don't know
Another
what that
guy
is.
whose name I don't know.
Mental contact app going through. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? He buys himself 10 seconds
Yeah.
to figure out the name, as he is not only ad-libbing with Braden Jacobs, but now he is with Roy ad-libbing, adding more people to the insanity that is this recruiting video.
We're going to be back in the third segment with the 199, but this is the single cringiest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
This is worse than the gloves. This is worse than the gloves.
Oh, it's so much worse than the gloves. We'll talk about it more right after this.
And this is, in fact, FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL. And FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Get over there right now. Look at the early lines for Georgia games because there's a lot of good stuff. Why don't you go ahead and pick up just lay the points against Alabama in Tuscaloosa right now.
Why don't you do it?
Lay them, go back to the window twice or thrice. FanDuel, the best sports book, the official sports book of Locked On Podcast and Locked On Bulldogs. All right, Daniel, we're wrapping up this.
Get us to the end of this video, please. And because we need a couple big picture takeaways for the 199 to explain why we would possibly spend all this time talking about this one little video for
here we go.
Clemson. We got about 10 seconds left in this video.
You seen the video? A lot of battles between these two one day. A lot of battles.
Always be the best place to go.
Go Tigers.
Okay. Here. I want to end just with this shot right there.
Bedazzled football.
Front
and center.
Pointing it out with two kids. He has no clue their names.
He doesn't know their names. Not relevant to the discussion.
He doesn't even know he knows that they are on offense and defense and a lot of battles coming up. He has no clue if they're tackle, guard, center, D tackle, end, edge, linebacker. What? No idea. He doesn't know the name of one. He knows there's a bedazzled football. And if you count the number of times he tosses a football awkwardly in the air to try to catch it and gain momentum as he giggles like he is at a mixer for a business that he is not even hired at yet, trying to get in the good graces of everybody. This is the shot right here, Daniel.
This is it. Nothing says Clemson football like this shot right here. This shot right here. 2 4-stars, a doofus, and a bedazzled football. I present to you the Clemson Tigers football team. Like, that's it. This is what we're looking at here. All right. Big picture for the 199.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not that Gurf, I hope you're listening to this.
Gurf, I need your reaction, Gurf, because you called Kirby.
It's not that Kirby doesn't do gimmicky Dan Mullen-y thing. And so if you think doing gimmicky recruiting things is Dan Mullen-ish, then every coach in the country, including Kirby, does that. Do you know why? Because high school kids like having videos made of them. High school kids like the theatrics. They like that stuff. They like to have fun. They're not old and crotchety like me, Clint, and Gurf. That's just the nature of who they are. So every coach is doing that. Let me tell you something different about Kirby Smart, though.
Okay. Kirby
Smart curates everything that is put out about the Georgia football program.
Every last thing.
He would never allow a video like this to be made when he didn't have not only is he sociable, personable, does his homework and knows kids' names,
there it is,
and easy to talk to for these football players because A, he knows how to talk ball, and B, He knows about something that is relevant to them. He works hard to stay up to date on what is relevant to this demographic. Meanwhile, Docker's shorts, Dabo, is like he does none of those things. He just says, turn the camera on and I'll figure it out. Kirby doesn't do any of that. Everything is methodical. Everything is done with intentionality.
Yes.
And at some point, you will see through the act, the gimmick. But when Kirby expresses interest in a kid, it's not an act. It's not a gimmick. Like, he is actually inviting them to be a part of a culture that is already established, that is set, that he would love for them to be a part of. He doesn't have to put on a facade. He doesn't have to pretend to be somebody he's not. He doesn't have to act like an absolute doofus to try to impress a kid whose name he doesn't even know.
See, I just get Ryan Day, Dabo Swinney, Steve Sarkisian trying to get up in a referee's face before he takes a field. These guys have to fake it till they make it, because if they are just true to themselves on the spot, this was Dabo true to himself. Guys, when you ad lib, Daniel and I have other lives in which we can't fake who we are. Okay. When you cook alongside somebody, when you open somebody's business
on this podcast, we can very much fake who we are.
Well, we could, and we choose not to.
We literally say, turn the mics on. We'll figure it out. Like, that is the pre-production meeting.
This time we had to do a little, because I had to figure out how to get the video.
This time we had to figure out how to share the screen.
But when natural, native, absolute, who these people are, Steve Sarkisian is a tryhard. Ryan Day is a lost puppy at sea with no handles to hold on to. Without CJ Stroud or somebody generational, he is a joke. He's getting bullied by Jim Harbaugh.
Was until Jim Harbaugh just left him.
Lincoln Riley has a photographic memory of all the losses that he has, and he cannot
many
anything other than a throw it up and see what happens offense. Your coach, Kirby Smart, when it's natural him, when there's no script, although he scripts and curates and manicures everything, but when there's not, he is who he is. He's never making a video like this put on the spot. He is dragging his you-know-what all over everybody when he wants, at every single point he wants, because he can't help it. Dabo can't help but be this doofus. And it's wearing thin. And the new age, we keep saying this, college football is in a brand new age. The good old days are gone. So old people, get with it. Talking to Daniel. We've had a long on-ramp to get on to this. All right. We're there. Get with it. The Dabos of the world were something. Jim Tressel, Dabo, Urban Meyer. Those were the good old days.
Sure.
Kirby Smart's the new great golden era. And he's not Dabo.
No. 88 days, Clemson fans. Let us know. Let us know how you're feeling about the game.
How you feeling?
Defend your coach, please.
Go ahead. Tell me why this is okay.
Defend your coach.
I would love to know why this is okay.
It's just the grossest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
If you tell me he goes to church one more time, I swear. I can't.
Hugh Freeze goes to church as well. That's what I've been told. He's a good Christian man, hosts Bible studies. Good Christian man. Hires prostitutes for his players. Good Christian man.
This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Thank you, 199, for being here. We'll see you guys next time, Locked On Bulldogs.
See ya.